Good morning and welcome to the Springboard Real Estate Investment Hour. I'm your host, Doug Crow with Colleen Ryan Herrera. We are so fortunate today, folks, to have a very important guest on the show today. Noted author and columnist, entrepreneur, man about town, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great.
One of the things that I come across talking to investors, I'm sure you've run across this yourself, is that everybody knows and feels in their hearts that real estate is a good thing to do. It's a very stable investment. But so many people are really fearful of taking that first step. What would you say to someone who says, I know real estate's a good idea, I like it, it makes sense, but I'm just scared to take that first step? How do you get over that?
Well, the main reason they're afraid to do it is because our educational system has no or little financial education. And the financial education they tell you is to live below your means and save money and get out of debt.
Yeah.
And you think about a real estate investor, we're exactly opposite of that. I don't want to live below my means. I don't want to save money, and I like debt. So,
good debt.
Well, good debt and bad debt, So the reason that most people are fearful is because they really have old ideas, probably their parents' ideas or their school teachers' ideas. And nothing changes until you get rid of those old ideas. And you should be fearful because most real estate investments are bad because, they aren't giving that stuff away. If a house is worth $100,000, they're asking $150 for it.
Right.
And if you give them $150, then you've lost. So there's so much more to real estate than mutual funds. So I think mutual funds are the worst. No, the only thing worse than mutual funds are savings.
How about annuities?
I don't even know about those. But savings are the worst because you've lost 50% of your dollar's value in the last 10 years. In other words, 1997, you could buy oil for $10 a barrel. And today it's $60 a barrel. It's a 600% loss of purchasing power. And so these school teachers and these bankers and these so-called financial planners and experts are telling you to save money, and the value of the dollar is dropping like a rock because George and Company are printing money at a high rate of speed. So you see when dollars drop, then the price of real estate goes up, and then they sit there and they get fearful. So they know they're being, they're losing value with the dollar, but then they see the price of a house go up, and then they're caught between a rock and a hard spot because they don't know a good real estate investment from a bad one. That's the problem.
A lot of people are obviously, we've talked about the real estate bubble on our show all these times, and talked to Kim about it a little bit, and we all sort of had a good yuck on that because you and I both know that, it's back to normal, I guess is the way I see it. What's your comment on that?
Well, if you're a true investor, you should be able to make money when the market's going up and the market's coming down.
People always like to hear the good stories about the wonderful things you've done, the good things. Would you mind sharing your worst deal ever?
My worst deal?
Yeah, your worst real estate deal to let people understand that we've all taken a lump here and there.
No, I've never lost money in real estate.
Okay.
Never. The worst mistake I made in real estate is I sold something.
Okay, well, that qualifies.
I should never, ever have sold it. These flippers, they buy low, and they buy it at $100,000, they get $150,000.
Yeah.
That's not my game. And a sound investor like Buffett or Bogle of Vanguard will say, that's not your game. It's a stupid man's game. The taxes go after you if you do that game. But when I was just starting out 30-something years ago, I bought a little $18,000 unit, out of foreclosure in a little place called Lahaina, Maui. And that property is now worth $800,000.
Oops.
But I sold it for $48,000.
Ooh, but at the time, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, I put $30,000 in my pocket. I thought I was Donald Trump.
Yeah, right.
And now I realize I was,
That's cool.
mini moron. If I had kept it and refinanced it and played the games that you're supposed to play with a piece of real estate, I'd still have that property. So I should never have sold.
Right.
And so I think those are some of the biggest. In fact, I just sold a property 2 years ago. I hate to admit this, but I paid $800,000 for it, and the broker said it was worth 1.2. And I said, why would I sell it for 1.2? He said, well, you make $400,000. I said, well, $400,000 doesn't interest me. I think I'll just do something stupid and ask $2 million for it. It was worth 1.2.
Yeah.
And this 1031 guy out of California came along, and they gave me full price, and now I had to sell this stupid property.
Yeah.
Now I had $1.5 million in gain, and now I'm in a 1031.
Oh,
45 days.
You know what I'm saying? And I said I
Yeah.
should never have sold that property, but $800,000 was
Yeah.
the money there.
That's all right. You'll find somewhere to do.
I know. I'll drown my tear in my beers.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But I should
I
never
suspect
have
all
sold.
of you very experienced investors have stories like this. So.
Yeah, the thing is, I only regret selling. I used to own apartments here in Chicago, and I sold that. So that's the problem too. I should never have sold.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, I appreciate your time so much, Robert. It was great having you on the air
Great.
today.
Thank
Obviously,
you
if you want people want to learn more about it, they should go to richdad.com. Is that the one you want to talk about today?
Absolutely. I listen to what you guys do and get a mentor. Donald's my buddy. I'm learning the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire right now.
So you'd endorse Springboard to be a good idea for mentorship? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I mean, I had a rich dad. He had a rich dad.
Yeah.
That's where you learn it, not in school.
Thank you so much. That was Robert Kiyosaki
Thanks,
from Rich Dad Family. Appreciate him coming on the air today. Don't forget to tune in next week for the Springboard Real Estate Investment Hour. I'm your host, Doug Crow.